Okay. Mr. Gretzky 9966. How many books do you have? Roughly between 10 and 12,000. What are the books you wish you had? Somebody asked me another question here about Captain Strangelove. Right now, I kind of wish that I had. I actually wrote it down. A Harvey comic, Alarming Tales #1, has a story called The Last Enemy. That's a book that came out in the 50s, and it was the prototype for Commandy. There was 2 prototypes. Kirby had an unused strip called Commandy and something. I can't believe I'm going blank. And then he also had this book with The Last Enemy that had like talking animals and stuff in it and post-apocalyptic. That's the book I want because Carmine Infantino, who was a publisher at DC Comics when Jack Kirby went back to DC after leaving Marvel, tried to take all the credit in the world for Commandy, and Kirby had all this work. What was it called? Commandy in the Caves, that's what it was called, yeah. And as far as how many comics I have, I've gotten rid of tons of them since 2008. I've been ripped off twice. Somebody actually cherry-picked through my collection. I don't know who did that. I had 2 boxes of comics ripped off me when I was moving. I put them in a U-Haul and was moving my stuff by myself. And I don't remember, I can't really right now recall what was in that first box, but the other box they got was my Silver Age Marvel stuff and my Peter David Hulk run, and oh, that one hurt. So, but yeah, right now I've really sold probably 3,000 to 4,000 comics in the last couple of years trying to get this stuff down. So I'm thinking I'm between 10 and 12,000 right now. I've got them scattered everywhere. If I didn't read comics, what would you be collecting? Music. Music, and still be collecting some kind of art, be it comic strips like Loon County and Charlie Brown, Great Peanuts, anything, everything like that. Far Side, I'd still be collecting all that stuff, and probably like actual pieces of art, probably prints of stuff like the Nighthawks and Jackson Pollock stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm surprised, and in music, records, and probably anything and everything, music wise. What's the most you ever spent on a book? Off the top of my head, probably $28 to $30 for a 1964 Gold Key Johnny Quest book, and I still bargained the guy down for that. That was just a couple years ago. Did any of your exes really like your comic book collection, and does it get in the way of the relationships? Okay. Not to get too personal, but actually I have had luck with my comic book collection in the romance department. I've read Bone to a girl, and it went really well. Yes, Bone, Jeff Smith's Bone. Don't go to the gutter there. And I read some Sandman to a girl. And we were lying in bed. It was nice and everything like that. But I'll tell you, when the comic book collection has never really being a thing. Actually, the last girl I was really involved with encouraged me to get the bookshelves and stuff. So I can't really say anything. But you got to remember, this thing is just a hobby. This is on the side. There's been times where I got more involved with it than I probably should have. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm all, perfect about it. And then there's times where they forgot I completely, collected comics and stuff, and stuff like that. It's no biggie. But what I learned is that this thing was never really a problem. It was more one of those things where they were scraping the bottom of the barrel to have something to throw at me that they put in their mind so they could use 6 or 7 months later, It never really was a problem. It's like it was thrown in my face, but it was never a reason to break up. But it was sure something to throw at me. And then after the breakup, and if they kept the drama going and stuff like that, you never heard about it again. Now, I'm really trying to think, and be honest here. But no. Actually, if somebody is really into you, they accept you for what you are. To me, as long as they know they're first, or you love them back or something. I think over the years of my busted up relationships and broken hearts and having to break up because life just separated us and stuff like that, you got to take the good with the bad and accept this is what they do, And it doesn't mean they have to be supportive of it. It just means that if it's bothering them that much, that this may not be the person for you. I mean, think about it. How ridiculous is it? I mean, in real life, and let's think about this. We're talking about people growing old together, keeping the bills paid, all right? I can go on and on, having kids or whatever they do, building a life together, and unless you're completely obsessed, this is enough to break it up. That's my opinion. You know, I've never really had any shame, but I also didn't run in there and go, hey, come here and look at my comic book collection, expecting it to impress her. You want to go in their house, in their room, okay? They collect shoes, all right? I've dated girls who were like in their 20s and stuff, and in their 30s, and they still had stuffed animals on their bed. They collected stuffed animals. I know girls who were playing with their Barbies up till 16 or 17 years old. Okay, it's how it's painted. It's all on how it's, you know, what it is. To me, it's just been a tool to have an excuse to throw something in your face because of the stigma. All right, so that might be a little TMI and where you didn't want to go, but you know, I got no shame about it. I don't think it's something. As long as you're keeping the people first and realizing that this is just a hobby, they need to get over it. You know. Top 5 DC characters and worst 5 worst DC characters. I wanted to give you one apiece and stuff just because of all the questions. Booster Gold to me is the worst DC character ever. I can't stand him. There's nothing about him that is like heroic. How the guy's not a villain blows my mind. To me, Booster Gold would be a better villain. Now, with that said, Jeff Johns' run that he did after 52, where you had the Booster Gold, who was the hero that nobody knew what he was doing. That was a damn good run. It really was. I'll give credit where credit is due. But in general, to me, Booster Gold is that character. That's probably the story I'd write. Booster Gold, the villain. He finally accepts what he is. I mean, he was a loser. He was a scam artist. He stole stuff from a museum because his ego wasn't getting pumped. He wasn't famous, and he came back to, you know, the 1980s. And stuff like that. I mean, there's just nothing there. Everything he does is supposed to be for glory and stuff. I mean, God, there's not one redeemable quality in him. Doctor Doom has more redeemable qualities than Booster Gold, you know. Galactus has more redeemable qualities. Mephisto has more redeemable qualities. They all have like this weird code or weird honor or something. And just Booster Gold is just a freaking scavenger. Yeah, see, the hate is there. So we'll just move on. I can do a whole video on why I hate him. And my favorite DC character actually wasn't from DC. Now, you know, he started out at Fawcett Comics and stuff. But when I was about 7, 8 years old, there was this TV show on Saturday mornings called Hero High, and it was live action. And they had these Shazam cartoons, Captain Marvel, and I saw Black Adam, and I've always just loved Black Adam. So when Jeff Johns got a hold of him in the JSA book in the early 2000s. And started doing stuff with them, I was just blown away. I mean, that's when I was running around work and stuff like, you got to see this. I couldn't believe somebody was doing something with Black Adam. Okay, will we see Finally Design again? Oh, absolutely. Finally Design is not gone. Life just takes a toll sometimes. Bromstar is sick right now. He told me I could tell people. And, you know, some health issues have popped up. Some trolls popped up. There for a while, YouTube for me wasn't fun there for a little bit because I didn't know what the hell was going on and stuff like that. We had a reunion show not too long ago, but Google Plus created a separate channel for Scott, and we didn't know it, so we broadcasted on a channel that nobody was subscribed to. A few people did see it and all that stuff. So yeah, Family Design, we're looking forward to doing more. We were talking about it. Will it be a weekly show? I really don't know. But no, it's Finally Design is not gone. Thanks for the support. It's one of my favorite things on YouTube to do. Okay, tons of respect for Bromstar, man. Alright, now we're down here to DJ Little Row. Will we see the return of a throwback video mullet? Well, it's funny you say that, because I think I just found a video cassette from like 1986, 1987. Alright, so, you know, for you guys don't know what he's talking about, I have a video up on the channel page. It's right there up front and center. And I kind of did a skit where, you know, I was saying that the comic book community is older than you think, and back in the day we used to make video cassettes with gigantic cameras and mail them to each other and stuff. So, enjoyed doing that, man. But that takes a lot of, you got to let the subconscious go back and remember things and details and stuff. So, yeah. And I appreciate everybody enjoying that video, man. I got a ton of compliments, and I really appreciate it. Because I said on that thing for 2 days, like, is this stupid or is it fun? It's one of the few times I ever really kind of doubted myself. But I had fun with it, and I'm so glad other people had fun with it too. It's one of those videos I kind of sort of patted on the back, and I do not expect to. I don't think it's a great video, but I also don't think I can top it, because it was just spontaneous, fun, 90% improv, you know. Alright, let me see. Perhaps we'll see you grow a real mullet. I'll tell you what, in that video I was going to surprise people. I want to put up a picture of me in high school with my mullet with that video.